Greetings, Earth travelers! Why is it the precession of the spring vernal equinox, better known as the Earth's journey through astrological ages, moves backward or in a westerly direction through the constellations? The Earth rotates west to east, and that has been the established natural order through the zodiac. Could there perhaps be a profound reason for this wobbly movement of the Earth on its axis, which has it revised that spring equinox point and move with predictable and incremental precision in the opposite direction? As we know from studying astrology and messaging from the cosmos, there is usually a symbolic reason worthy of intelligent interpretation. The Libran energy in me tends to think this opposing movement works to keep everything balanced, but that is really simplifying things too much. Or is it? Each astrological age is approximately 2,160 years, and although there is not total consensus, most are in agreement the vernal equinox is now positioned at the end of the age of Pisces, or its early degrees, and the beginning sojourn into the age of Aquarius, or that sign's latter degrees. These are critical degrees either way, closing in on 0 degrees of Pisces while approaching 29 degrees of Aquarius. In both cases, we have attained critical mass, pardon the pun. As we witness what is going on around us, there is little doubt that may be exactly what we are experiencing. So what does this mean? And how should astrologers and other enlightened souls interpret this for a meaningful understanding of this historic time? We could ask or study the life of anybody that has these critical 29 or 0 degree planetary or cusp placements within their natal chart to know how it might feel. Everyone could also take a look at their progressed natal charts to understand the effects when our planets reach those positions within our lifetime. We can also witness the manifestations on a macro worldwide level, especially whenever an outer planet such as Pluto is approaching 29 degrees of a zodiac sign or 0 degrees of the next. There is an extreme urgency, a feeling of endings and beginnings, a need to achieve great mastery and fulfillment, and perhaps also a feeling of being trapped. In the case of 0 degree placements and transits, there may be a feeling of impotence when taking in the magnitude through that lens, and also much curiosity about the impending, looming, and different landscape. Spring of 2022 is indeed a very important point in time on this journey through the age change, and on April 12th we will have Jupiter conjuncting Neptune in constellation Pisces. That is rare, and to happen right now, it is auspicious. It helps to lend a hand as we continue to bridge the way from Pisces and into Aquarius. It's part of final messaging from the universe as to the whole idea of having spent the last 2,000 plus years experiencing the age of Pisces. The conjunction of expansive Jupiter and co-ruler dreamy Neptune within their home of Pisces is a helpful, comforting, and enlightening gift. It takes place during the religious season we know as Lent within Christianity or Ramadan in the Islamic tradition. These religions came to the fore during the early age of Pisces and are very symbolic of that age. As we embrace these traditions during this rare conjunction, we are paying homage. But this aspect also serves to help expand our consciousness further. As we make the sojourn into Aquarius more and more, we will be unable to escape an overwhelming focus of humanity's connection to all things globally, the ramifications of our actions, and the effects that they have. Actually, this is only half the story of what is happening right now. As mentioned in previous episodes, we are very much experiencing the USA's Pluto return point of 27 degrees Capricorn, and the world is revisiting and reminded of the important fight and Declaration of Independence in 1776 that occurred back then. We will also remember the fighting actually continued until the Battle of Yorktown in 1781, 5 years later, the same time planet Uranus, modern ruler of all things Aquarius, was discovered. One could argue there is an overtly similar intention happening in our world today. Pluto, the planet of transformation, is moving past that mark and onto the 29-degree mark of Capricorn and with an orb of 0 degrees Aquarius. We can readily measure Pluto's historical manifestations to achieve consensus on what and when to expect the effects. A deliberate step up to achieve the goal of its transit area. The French Revolution occurred in 1789, 13 years later, causing a fundamental upgrade to the notion of freedom on the Earth's other continent. Pluto was well within freedom-loving constellation Aquarius by then and kicking butt. Back to the future. It's interesting to note that the Earth's inhabitants are currently experiencing the balance of hits on both critical endpoints to the constellation Aquarius, as we now embark into that new age from Pisces and as Pluto makes its slow but definite ingress from Capricorn. We are being reminded of all things purely Pisces at 0 degrees while experiencing a very urgent desire to have already mastered all things Aquarian at 29 degrees. And we are also somewhat in awe of the changing landscape upon us at 0 degrees Aquarius, compliments of Pluto's orbital approach on the other end out of Capricorn at that sign's 29-degree mark as well. Changing points of view, of course, are gradual, but in the case of critical degrees, the profound meaning of these 3 signs will be experienced very evidently. At times, we probably are all feeling somewhat paralyzed, as might be a deer caught in the proverbial headlights. Or we may also feel like jumping into some sort of action for action's sake. Uranian and Aquarius keywords are coming in hot from both ends as the orbs of influence close in. Pluto leaves Capricorn energy behind within a few years, but remnants of Piscean energy will be drawn out for the remainder of our lifetimes. It takes 72 years for the Earth to progress 1 degree within a zodiacal age. It may not immediately matter why the ages progress backward, but just knowing the bigger picture and path is degree by degree through the ages works to show us how to focus and respect the time it takes. And in time, during our evolution, the important reasons should be revealed to those that seek to understand. The alternative would be to not work towards universal evolution and remain stuck in an age gone by. After all, these ages do last a very long time, and so many norms are thoroughly established reflecting their energy. Going forward, we are having to do things more and more via group consensus, as defined by humanitarian Aquarius. Our world is made up of various levels of evolved souls. Some areas and peoples on our planet are still unable to totally give up the age of Aries, which we physically navigated beyond 2,000 years ago. The constant warring typical of that age is obviously something we should and will all move way beyond. Understanding that our reality is truly sink or swim altogether now cannot be overstated and will help much. We are so blessed to be alive, so we might have the opportunity to step up and speak to universal consciousness and intention. You are no doubt gifted with that purpose during this very important time on our planet. Your natal chart, of course, will explain the details. Gifts and talents are confidently verified there. Your understanding of how the universe works and astrology will surely serve as a vibrational beacon. If you would like assistance with your natal chart, please contact ars@astrologyroadshow.com. Much appreciate your time, and thanks as always for tuning in. Please be sure to hit the channel subscribe button so you will not miss out as we navigate our way. I hope you enjoy many blessings during this spring season, and I look forward to catching up with you next episode.